files in the weekend folder, this is what I need. So go to Basecamp, it's this little yellow icon, 2025 series and events, docs and files, and then you'll see a bunch of folders. There's more down here too, yeah. So we color code these just to make it easier and quicker to get to. Green means like we're doing it right now. Brown means we just got done with it, or it's been in the past. And yellow is kind of a little bit ahead. Red would be like assets. There's really not much we do in that folder. And then this blue is just kind of generic stuff. This pre and post roll music, again, that really never changes. And then these are all your generic pre and post roll slides. So anyways, go back to home, 2025 series and events, docs and files. We are in the current series of Mulligan. So if you were looking to download the Propresenter file for that weekend, you would go to the Mulligan folder, and then you would find the weekend ahead. It's not in there yet because we haven't built it, but this was yesterday's. So you'd click on this, and this folder has your Propresenter file. It looks like a document, but it's this .pro playlist file. This right here was some stuff for Pine Valley. This was our bumper video, that golf video. This was South Africa video, and then these are message notes. So anything related to that weekend is going to be in this folder. But for tonight's purposes, it's to download the Propresenter file. So you click this, hit download. We have our downloads folders set up to where they link directly with Propresenter. So you'd want to put this show file in the current series folder. So that's downloads. Again, we're in Mulligan, and then you hit save. Now I need to rename it because it's going to say it's already downloaded. It will download. You'll see this little loading bar at the bottom. You'll know it's done when that disappears. The file is usually a couple gigs, between a gig and 2.
Is that how many videos we got?
Yeah, that's true. These are important, these notes here. A lot of times whenever Matthew or Noah is working on the weekend folder, things are actually not done yet. For instance, this South Africa video wasn't done until, I think, Friday. So by the time you get to Sunday or whenever you're downloading it, probably will be available. But these are just notes to say, hey, you're missing these things, or you need to adjust these things when you download it. So that blue bar is gone, so that means it's ready to load in. There are a couple ways to get the file into Propresenter. Perhaps the easiest way is navigating to the, why is it not showing me? Here we go. Navigating to the downloads folder, Mulligan, and you can just double click on it. And then this window will pop up. This window pops up if you do it this way, or I'll show you the other way. So the first way is just double click on it, that notification will pop up, or you can do it from Propresenter. It's so funny, at Porter's Neck when I was doing this a few weeks ago, Propresenter was doing the same thing. Acting up.
I reckon it's because it still needs an update.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Oh, it's down here. That was my goof. So you go to File, Import, File, and then navigate to it, hit Import. These next steps are important. It took me forever to remember exactly which ones, but you'll want to change this library. So this tells the software where to store everything. So we want to do, it's a weekend service, so we want to do weekend service elements. Hit OK. Then these will pop up here. What you want to do here is hit apply to all and new version. I'll explain why you do that based off the other options. So you don't want to hit right over, and you don't want to hit use existing, because I'll mainly just explain use existing. So say we've updated this social slide with different information on it. but it's named the same thing. If you just say use existing, it's not going to replace it with the newest version. So that's important. So always just go new version, and then it will take a second. You want to hit apply to all because there's like 100 of those screens that will pop up every time. You just want to hit the same option. So now the show is in here. You see all your elements over here that you're used to seeing. You're pretty close to being able to run with it. Just unpacking some of the sections of the software here. These are your libraries, so that all the elements that I just imported are in here. These are just different libraries that we have. So all of our songs are here, all that sort of stuff. You probably won't ever have to access these, but just knowing what that does, that's just where files are stored. Everything down below is a playlist. So I would drag this August 17th up into this folder. You don't have to, but just from an organization standpoint, that's how we do things. So we're back here. This all looks right. This all looks what we're used to. Songs, videos. Hey, there's Wes. So that's the video that needed to be replaced. So if you didn't read that note, you didn't replace it, you didn't rehearse it, then you're playing a video from 2 weeks ago. So everything's really pretty close. Obviously, Pastor Matt George is not hosting here, so you want to adjust that. But let me start over here. There's a couple things. The way that we build these show files is it pulls directly from Planning Center. And if you ever on Planning Center look at everything on there, it's not just our service flow. We have stuff like the worship dress code, vocal warm-ups, band resources. There's nothing, it's not going to actually populate anything. So anything that you don't need, just right-click and hit hide. Same with worship leader dismissal. That's just a note for worship leaders. It's not an element to the service that you click on something. So again, just hide that. From there, the main thing, and Matthew corrected me if I'm wrong, you do this way more than I do, would be to just clean up host spot. So like, we would go on here and say, I don't think Pastor Matt's ever hosted here, so chances are he's not. We'll go with Barry. I'm sure he's hosting. So you type his name in there. Say there was a slide that we needed. Most likely it's going to be in the weekend folder. So you go back to Basecamp and just go to a different week. Say it was a culture conference slide. This slide right here. You go download, and you want to send it to that same folder. And I'll show you why here in a second. It's already in the folder, but I'll replace it. So once you've downloaded something, it's like, well, how do I get it into the show? Well, you hit this media button, and then if you navigate to that same folder, this is a smart folder. So anything I put into that folder on the desktop or the downloads, it automatically goes into here. This is culture conference slide. So say Pastor Barry wanted to mention that, literally just to click and drag into the host area, and it's there. Actually selected two things, but yeah, you just click and drag. If you need to like replace a slide, every once in a while we'll have the wrong date on something, or something will be wrong, and we send an update Sunday morning. Hey, everybody, download this, import it. Say this was the new file, like beach baptism update. You can click and drag this and just drop it right on top, and it'll replace what's there. You don't have to like delete this, add a new slide. You can just drag it right on top. Same with this video. So you just click South Africa. Sorry, Wes. Wes is gone.
Wes is probably like, thank you, Lord.
So then that replaces that video. From there, obviously you'll want to check the arrangements, but Matthew does a good job of making sure the arrangements are right. We do have a new way of labeling these. So these arrangements are now labeled based off the date, and not like if it's Passion or if it's Chris Tomlin or whatever who sings it. We now do the date. So Has anybody messed with the arrangement window before? Have y'all seen this?
We do that pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a reminder, these are duplicate, but basically everything on top, these darker tags are what you can pull from. And then these down here, the brighter ones, are actually what the arrangement of the song is. So say like it was wrong, we actually need to add another chorus after the first chorus. You click and drag from here and just drop it in, and you're good to go. If you're like, oh, I put that in the wrong spot, or we actually need to get rid of a bridge, just hover over it, exit it out, and you're good to go. But arrangements are wrong from time to time. It's somewhat of a confusing thing to actually program. I don't. It's hard to explain why, but it's just a little. It's just tricky to get right.
Lately, it's been pretty good. So appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
So again, an important thing is your media bin. You can navigate to the correct folder. This is all your different music elements, which we don't do a ton of. 9 times out of 10, it's that same pre-roll, that sort of stuff. But here's where all your music is. There's a bunch of tabs here. These are your timers. You guys ever have to adjust timers?
Very rare.
Okay. Again, that's something that's programmed on the front end. I will probably add that to a checklist after you import just to check the timers. So we time our host. So when you see this icon on the slide, that little clock, that means that, well, it's not working.
Well, can you grab the remote?
Oh yeah. Grab the remote.
The
Power button.
It's the closest one to you. So the farthest black one, the one that is in America. And check it
Oh, okay.
Okay.
out. I don't know why.
See the light coming on.
Here, let me see that black one.
yeah.
Oh, this is all over.
So that little clock there just indicates there's some sort of timer. Primarily, it's your hotspot timer. So again, those are typically programmed. I have noticed sometimes. Have you noticed this, Matthew? That we're not consistent. Like at Pine Valley, it might be called countdown, and that counts as its host. So when you go to actually click it, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So remind me, we need to clean that up and just get it standardized across the board. But still, it's a good thing to know. These other ones, it's just not even worth explaining. We don't use them for anything. So some of that gets really complicated and confuses me too. So I can't even try to explain it. Anything else the Propresenter want us? I don't want to overload anything, but are any
Maybe-
questions you guys have? Like,
If you add a slide, transition, you need to put a transition.
oh
on.
yeah.
Like that
So that I don't fully understand because it doesn't do it at quarters neck. But what he's saying is, sometimes whenever you add a slide, it won't have this dissolve transition, or maybe it's like super bright, it's blinding. So you need to make some adjustments to that particular slide. So say this slide was like not transitioning, it was just jumping on the screen, it was really bright. So you right click it, hit inspector. Inspector allows you to do like anything you can imagine to that slide to adjust it. You can do it through inspector. These icons, so this third icon that kind of looks like a transition, is a transition page. So if you needed to, you could add a dissolve, which is what we were seeing. Or if you're like, oh my gosh, it's so bright, you can go here, and we have these brightness settings. Negative 0.1 is is a minor adjustment. Or sorry, negative 0.05 is the minor adjustment. 0.2 is the most severe adjustment. So if I put a negative 0.2 and re-click it, it tones it way down. So again, those are like kind of the nuances of Propresenter, but like it's what like makes the show really clean. So if I'm jumping around these slides and one's like super bright and people are like putting their sunglasses on and stuff, it's just a distraction. Or if it's so dark they can't read it. So we try our best to make slides that visually are appealing and aren't super harsh. But every screen is a little bit different, every room's a little bit different. So you may have to make some adjustments. So that's a really good one to remember. Any other questions? So there's a lot to it though. That will get you a long way, knowing how to import the show. Again, we'll have a printout right here. Maybe we'll slap it on the wall there so you can reference it. And again, we won't do that starting this weekend. We'll do it whenever it's appropriate and the team feels good. Y'all can practice it a couple times if you want, that sort of stuff.
This is all good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Propresenter on MXU?
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot to Propresenter. It took me quite a while to like fully understand. All these little icons like are important to know what they're doing. Mainly, this little mustache guy is what I call it. It is the audience look, which my biggest frustration with Propresenter is just the language they use is not the most natural. So audience look, the way I can best describe it is it's telling that slide where to go, how to look, and all this sort of stuff. So better examples probably at Pine Valley. We have an LED wall, we have 2 side screens. So those things are doing different things. For instance, on this is a good example. When you guys at campuses see a side third come in like this, Pastor Jeff hits a scripture or whatever, side third comes in. Well, it's doing the same thing at Pine Valley on the side screens, but on the LED wall, it's actually showing that point up top. So that audience look takes this information, that text, and says, all right, to this machine, to this output source, it's going to look like this, but on this output source, it's going to look like this. So you won't really run into too many issues here, I don't think, with audience looks, just because you have just one display, which is great because it can get very complex. If you ever see anything weird on the message, every once in a blue moon, like something will just look really jacked up on a side third, or like it'll come up on top. That's just an audience look issue that we had to fix. So same with the lyrics. So like at Pine Valley, it's telling LED wall lyrics to go up top. On the side screens, lyrics go on the bottom. For the live stream, lyrics go on the bottom, that sort of stuff. So that's an audience look.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
We ever have the kiss of death technical issue where we don't have the message coming through? Does the campus pastor, like Pastor Barry, would he do the notes from that message, or would he do his own?
So it depends.
Okay.
So first line of defense, or first preference, I should say, is that Pastor Barry would preach whatever is being preached at Pine Valley.
Okay.
So he would pull the message notes. They have the message notes as soon as Pastor Jeff or whoever's done with them. So they should be reviewing them.
Okay.
Next preference would be that they just have a message that they've prepared. And all of our campus pastors probably have 2 or 3 that they can preach at any given moment if they needed to. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus, because I'm not trying to, so I won't name a name, but if somebody that's not probably your campus pastor here hosting, they would not necessarily be expected to preach, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So in that situation, which hopefully never happens, but you do have a backup message in here.
Okay.
It is at this point quite old.
Hey everyone, we're so glad you're joining us. Whether you're online or in person, here are a few things you need to know.
Last week.
Hey, there's Pastor.
download our app, or you can drop it.
It's very old. That's
Josh Daniel.
not Josh. That's that was what's his name? Voice.
Pastor Barry was speaking.
Oh, okay. I thought that was I don't remember his name.
Connect takes place at each of our campuses on the second and fourth Sunday.
So this is just a little bumper video before the message. But she was an intern back in the day.
We'll go with me to Luke chapter 9.
People will know something's up.
9, verse 1, follow
And what's funny too, I think, yeah, so this is when we use lower thirds. So if, yeah, that is hard to read.
But if I can take you back 16 years ago to the start.
So we have two different backup messages. Obviously, if there's a situation like that, we'll be communicating heavily that morning, like what's going on, what's the plan. Pastor Kevin will be involved, that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to think. That has happened here. Pastor Barry's had to preach in my recent memory.
That was about 2 years ago.
Yeah, about 2 years.
But that was only one service, and then I think we got everything up.
Okay. Yeah, so like what would happen in that situation if Pastor Barry had to preach? He would get up there and preach and do a fine job. Really by the second service, we could have a backup message sent, or a copy of the message sent to you guys. I would export our first one, put it on Basecamp, you would download it, play through CG.
Okay.
Nobody would ever know. But yeah, that has happened. I think it's happened at Carolina Beach too. One service, Pastor Kevin had to preach. So yeah, it is on there. Hopefully we wouldn't have to get to this point.
In most cases,
It's a really great message.
verse 4 says, whatever
You were probably you were definitely here for it. But
leave that town. If people do not.
if you ever wonder why we don't use lower thirds anymore, it's because it would be a little bit of it wouldn't be a great experience here, but at Carolina Beach, the line of sight, you wouldn't be able to see that. The way their room is, the LED wall is so low in their room, you can't even really see anything below half what's on the screen. So it's just a challenge with their space. But that's why we only do side thirds now. I wish we could do lower thirds because it's way easier on the camera operators, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the other backup message is. Honestly, probably should remind teams of that more often, but also, like, part of me hates bringing it up, like, hey, just in case. And then it happens next week, so.
If it does happen, I guess they'll blame it on me for breaking.
We don't ask the question.
Matthew can also preach too, so.
Hey, you did it in South America. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 3 minutes when I did it.
Hey.
Nobody's mad at a short service. Yeah, we may have taken the other one off. Yeah. Any other questions in the booth in general, or doesn't have to just be CG? Oh, one thing I was going to mention that somebody brought up, it was Jared, the transition like to Pine Valley, how I put in a lot of communication on Slack of like what's going on. So one of the things that we actually have the capability of doing now, we just haven't pulled the trigger on, is down Resi 3.4 is our MD from Pine Valley. So when y'all switch to Pine Valley, technically Alex is talking in their ears. They just don't have it turned up. So that is one thing that we're going to switch to. One, it just gets everybody, like, it's the quickest form of communication. I do my best, but again, there's a lot of weeks where I'm doing something, I completely miss that transition, I have no idea. Alex will do his best to translate what happened, but best case scenario, they literally have Alex in their ear real time, or whoever's MD, and say, swell here, do this, all right, band's clear, all that sort of stuff. So once we switch to that, it'll be really nice. So it'll be one less thing to have to, like, for me to communicate to y'all to the band, all that sort of stuff. So that's kind of a cool little technology thing we're working on.
Cool.
But like I said earlier, if there's anything like in the booth, whether it's computer acting up or like, hey, it'd be really nice if we had this, it'd help us be more effective, whatever that is, like pass it up to Will, Matthew, myself. Like we want to make y'all's job as easy as it can be on a weekend and enjoyable. So yeah, I don't really have anything else. I could keep talking your ear off about Propresenter and stuff, but it's past my bedtime. But no, seriously, if you guys have anything else, I'll stay as long as y'all want.
I appreciate you coming out, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to do more of these, just hanging out, learning that sort of stuff. So I'll try to get more of these on the books. Because you guys aren't doing midweek rehearsals, is that right?